Solid state sucks. Tubes rule. No, they don't. It's whatever you enjoy, right? There's so much bias out there. I mean, there just is. You hear it all the time. You know, one thing I don't do is, although I have a beautiful system and I love it, I never criticize anyone else's system. Like if I was to walk into someone's room and clearly hear something that I felt was beyond what I have, I'm going to compliment them on it, right? Mine is not the best. There is no best. But I'm just saying, you know, when you've been at it long enough, it's nice to hear from someone else that, man, this does sound good. You know, like when my buddy came over, who's got a pretty much of a golden ear when he heard the bel canto, and he's a multiple box guy like I've been. He was shocked as well, right? So, like I say, I'm a big fan of tubes, especially the 845. That's my favorite. The 211 was even better, but they're harder to find 211 tube amps, integrated amps with the 211. It's a harder tube to find. It had all the bass that you need, like the 845. It just even was more refined, I felt, on the top end. But the Line Magnetic 518, it just does so many things so well. Number one, the reliability is just, it's proven itself over the years to be just unbelievable. I haven't had to do a thing to it. Quiet as can be, no tube change, no biasing. You can check that daily on the fly if you really are obsessed with that. But you know, both designs, when built and engineered properly, solid state and tube, are superb, right? I think their solid state designers can really gear their sound toward more of a tube, lush, kind of organic sound if they want. And I always forget, the gain clone. That's one of the solid state designs that I really, really liked with these speakers too. Of course, I can't afford I always forget the Japanese company there. Someone can name that. But I got the Clones Audio, the IR50, the 50 IR. So it was just a 50 watt per channel. Little cube built like a tank integrated amp. And to tell you the truth, it's all I ever needed. It had tons of power. I mean, like I say, the Kinky that came in with 180 watts per channel, that thing smoked it. In the quality of bass, in the punch of bass, it's such a fail, that Kinky amp. I'm sorry, guys that own it. I know my system wasn't right and all that shit. Whatever, man. The Clones, I always forget the Japanese company there. It's really expensive. There's like little power supplies and stuff that you can buy. So, you know, those, and I've tried really beautiful high-end solid state, you know, from Koran, the KA I-180. That was an unbelievable solid state. I've had solid state power amps, solid state tube phono stages, you know, hybrids. You know, that Liberty Audio though, guys, you can only buy it from online, and they have these 3 components and I think a pair of big tower speakers. That's it. That's all they've offered for the last 15, 20 years. And I like that. I like companies, I've really stated this a lot, that keep their stuff current, meaning when you buy it, it's not obsolete in a year. So the B1B is a solid state. I forget the topology exactly of solid state that it is, but that's a really good phono stage, Liberty Audio B1B. I've had great times with both topologies, tubes and solid state. It's just with the tubes, sometimes your brain can sit there and start saying to itself like, shit, is more sound coming out of that one channel over there, right? When with solid state, it doesn't seem to really creep in as much. But, you know, the bias, I hope that most people, as they go down this journey, they start to lose it and just realize that there's so much good stuff out there. You know, What they have is not the best. There's just lots of really, really great, greatly designed and engineered equipment out there on the market, right? Even stuff that's, I can't speak on the vintage. I stay weary of that because I just don't know how to fix that stuff, and I don't want to pay to fix it or service it. Really, I just want to kind of keep my stuff somewhat current, right? So, this one, the one I got now, is just cutting edge. Yeah, and if there's ever an issue, I mean, all the software gets updated through the network with the amp, but I just put it's not a big 100-pound fucking bulk. I just put it in its box and just off it goes, right to the designer. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I don't trust anyone else with this technology other than them, so the Bel Canto. But yeah, guys, Class D, Class G, Class AB, Class A, T amps, chip amps, gain clone amps. Man, is there so many. But if you haven't tried gain clone, I know there's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of companies doing it. Then you got your op amp technology with Burson. Felt a little bit lean in the bass. I had the flagships here. I actually bought them, the Timekeepers. Unbelievable top end and mid range. Bass punch, but no extension for me, right? So, when you got amps that are this big, that like tiny, I don't know, it's hard not to equate bass or low end with something that size. I know it's kind of weird to equate, what you see and then what you hear, but I don't know. Once that Nat M23 came in, that just blew it out of the water. But the Burson edged it out in the top end and mid-range though. The M23 a little bit forward at times, right? But it ate it for dinner on the low end. Beautiful bass, punchy. But yeah, I just was looking for something more refined when it came to Class D. And even though the Bel Canto, he's been a believer and he's worked with Encores only. He doesn't believe in the purifies. Something to do with the efficiency. He's always kept with the Encore and just tried to just refine it and continue to improve that with his design. So, and I can hear it. I can really hear it over the Nat M23. But again, it's almost 3 times the price, right? So is it 3 times better? No. And that's how it is in this game. You only get minimal improvements, but once you're up to a certain level, those minimal improvements are huge. They're absolutely huge, right? So don't worry, guys. I mean, whatever you got, just enjoy it. Don't worry about what other biased people say or what anyone else thinks. You enjoy what you have, and that's the main thing here, right? So just going to keep doing what I do here. I was kind of getting a little bit off track on, letting other people's opinions or what they're doing on YouTube affect me, and I shouldn't do that. But anyway, yep, football weekend, NFL, baby.